so not
All
a
right,
big deal.
sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, hello, everybody. In the words of the best Family Feud host that has ever been, we got a good one for you today. What team are we? We're the team 1, or are we 2? Whatever team we are, the Wally clan. We are going up against some pretty good people. We're going up against Spring and Matt Just Salsa. Now, for all you watching Wally Clan, we're a bunch of 1600s on Voobly, so playing against Spring, who's like 2300, and Matt Just Salsa, who I think is like 2K. It's a pretty big deal for us. We were kind of freaking out. Starting out in the far right flank is me, playing as the Persians. My pocket, I will let him introduce himself, is Slyfox.
Hello, playing as the Tartars. It was an exciting time.
Yes, and if you notice, the Tartars actually have one R in their name, but everybody calls them the Tartars.
They're in chat.
Yeah, in my chat, I asked them if they're pro, and nobody answered me anything, so that was kind of sad. The other pocket, we have Isosphere playing as the Lithuanians. He is already built a barracks, and his drush is moving out across the map. And finally, on the last flank, we have Walsnator. Would you like to introduce yourself, Walsnator?
I am Walsnator, and I'm playing as the Bulgarians.
Yes, so right now we're following Isosphere's drush with the Lithuanians. You start with 150 food, which means you can put down a barracks right away and a house. And as long as you get your villagers onto sheep and some wood in time to build another house, you won't be housed yourself. But this means that you can drush somebody and be in their base in 4 or 5 minutes. And normally drushes are super annoying anyway, but when they're coming in this early, you know, your economy is super tight at the beginning of the game. So any kind of annoying or harassing you can do then is huge.
Wow, that's so perfect. He sees that.
Yeah, the orange enemy, the 7 hands guy, just saw your drush coming in. He has not reacted to it at all yet. He hasn't put up any quick walls. So let's see what happens.
The late militia.
He's just
Notice
waddling up.
The map we're doing is rivers, and for most people, it's very important to get control of water early, which is something that, as a theme throughout this game, we neglect to do.
Yes, we pretty much primarily play on Green Arabia. So the last time we played a water map, was probably like 2017.
Yeah, it's been a few years. But that's kind of the nice thing of the new Definitive Edition, is it gives us a chance to play new maps that we normally otherwise would not do.
Yes.
But as you look at Bill's drush here, he's doing a good job making Orange Man waste some wood, putting down palisades, smacking them.
Probably should have been in front of that board to block the border.
Missed opportunities.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
On the back here, you're finding some of his sheep. Those resources he does not have.
Pigs.
They are pigs.
They are pigs? Is that a pig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I totally thought these were sheep the entire game.
Also, I'm going to walk straight through this wall here.
They're mighty portly looking sheep.
There was a hole in that wall. There's always a hole. Alright, you're finding Teal Man's base. Not Teal, Purple Man's base. And this is where you do the real damage.
That's right.
Yeah, it's very important on rivers to wall off your shallows completely. You can't just do a wall up against it because of the edge. You can walk around it, so you have to do that one.
Wow, look at all of those idle villagers. He's panicking.
You actually messed up his boar lure on the far left, purple, because when you started walking, he completely stopped trying to lure the boar. So you got some good idle time there.
You did miss his wood line, though, but I think you go back and hit it.
I think I come back to it, so because I'm pretty sure that's where, spoiler warning, I get a kill.
Whoa. 1 kill or like a lot of kills?
a kill. Which
You
is
are
a-
completely
which is a
stopping
successful
him from
drush.
taking this boar. You have him off of his berries. He's gonna run out of pigs, even though these pigs look exactly like the sheep from the old game. They are, in fact, a pig. Oh, he just
Oh,
killed that pig.
wow.
Wow.
That was bad.
There's a tree in the way too.
I know.
I'm gonna bump that so much.
All right, he's going for his boar
Wow.
now. At perfect timing, as soon as your drush is hitting his wood line, he's going for that boar. So he's got to be in two places at once, which is going to be difficult for him.
Now, while Bill is doing this, though, he has to make sure that he balances his own economy at home, which is
Yep.
difficult to do.
Got one.
But he seems to be doing a decent job.
I think I get
Overall.
up to Castle Age at a kind of drush fast castle time.
One problem, though, reiterating again, if you look at yellow and red,
Wow,
they have
look at
already
all-
put down docks.
All his wood villagers are chasing my two.
And they already got a bunch of fishing ships. Which is a problem for us, because then they already got a big food eco boost.
Right, so you can see right now that Seven Hands has the pop lead. Several
if you
players on their
go
team have
over-
24 players.
Go over to 7 hands. You'll see me starting just crushing, as well as using a sick hill bonus.
Do the Tartars? No,
It's
You're
the Tartars
seeing
that get the,
the 50% bonus.
advantage. Yeah.
Well,
Which is
it's the
crazy.
Bulgarians.
So this game, Wilson is very clinical, stopping him from getting that wall off using the hill bonus. Also,
You'll also notice. Go ahead.
we have 3 new civs that we're using. Wilson is the Bulgarians, we've got the Lithuanians, and the Tatars, or Tartars.
However you want to pronounce it.
Tartar
You also
sauce.
notice purple is being harassed now by my scout, which was keeping him a little bit even more occupied from Bill's drush. So we just sufficiently annoyed him.
Yes, and he has 29 villagers, but he is still in the Dark Age at 12 minutes in the game. Let's check his food count. He has 200 food, so he is not clicked up yet, or is that? I can't tell with this new overlay. Regardless, he's super late, so he's not going to be able to do much.
Indeed.
On the right side of the map, since we haven't really looked there, we have Matt just salsa across from myself. Oh, and of course I pan over to it right as I mistakenly lose my scout to his scout. Oh, there was my misclick. I meant to click the scout, but my scout just ran back down the hill, and then he got 2 free hits. So that was that. Next to Match's Salsa is Spring. He is going really heavy on water. Again, this game, I don't think any of us made ships. And that was entirely
made some
a huge
fishing boats.
mistake.
Yeah. Hurt us. Deeply. But both red and yellow went heavy boom, which initially hurt them a little bit. But because of their huge eco lead, they were able to recover.
So, Isospear, your drush has long been cleaned up, I think. Your scout is on
Scout's
3
just
health.
scouting around.
This purple guy
I'm
has
just
made...
now putting down my dock so I can transport over.
Oh, we're going to see a transport ship for the
It's
Scrush.
a little bit
Hold on.
late.
One scout is waiting for his brethren. Him.
Sees him across the way.
I'm in feudal age now, and
Any day
Purple
now.
Man is not, so Drush has at least slowed that down.
Yeah, if you look, purple
Yeah.
has a huge amount of villagers, but he is not clicking up.
Oh, also, I didn't get Loom until after feudal because when you do 3 militia, you only have 40 gold.
Yes, you gotta remember to take some.
If you want to get Loom. Yep.
Alright, the Scrush is coming in onto the orange player. He has double palisaded his walls.
Which is sometimes not beneficial.
No.
A transfer ship can just completely circumvent them.
Also, these are... Is it humans that get the wall bonus that gives them more health?
I
Yes.
think so.
Palisade walls.
+5, I think.
No, plus 50%.
50%. Is it that?
Yes, they had 50% more health. Now the
Okay.
Scrush is hitting
Wow,
Orange's
this
wood
Scrush is
line.
amazing.
He's going to lose 1,
2.
Oh,
So
shit.
third. No.
2,
away too
3. Oh, you should have gone in for the last
I
hit. He
know, I
had
should
4
have.
health.
Didn't sacrifice any of them for it.
And
Aggressive
Orange has
really
responded
lost
well by
it.
putting up a lot of palisade walls everywhere.
Also idled quite a few villagers.
He did some great damage. Like, our side has only done damage and not been hit, I think.
Again, I think that's
Just
mainly because
so-
on the right side they just focused on water.
Mm-hmm.
We mainly focused on trying to hit them on land.
Yeah, you can take a good look here at the number of villagers everyone has. You can see how very far behind we are right now. Spring is leading with 51 villagers. I have 34. He has literally 1.5 times my villager count.
Yeah.
So again, huge mistake by us in not going water. We're kind of a little bit stuck in our ways of
Well,
playing Green
yeah, like you
Arabia.
said, this was the first water map we had played in probably a year or two. So we learned from our mistakes. So it's not.
The magic of the definitive edition.
So the Scrush is still hitting Orange Man, and I've heard Hera speak a lot on what to do after you've been raided, and it is immediately check your idols. Orange had 3 foragers that were idle for about a minute there. He has a farmer that is still idle, so that's a good tip that I think.
Handing over the farm.
Yes, he's overlooking the farm, but not actually
Uh,
using it.
Wood line or idle.
Right?
Yeah. And your scouts coming over, Eric, were able to kill a few fishing ships.
Yes. I was able to use Walsonage's transport ship to get my scouts into the game.
Which is good teamwork.
On the other side of the map, Sly Fox has reached Castle Age. He has Step Lancers.
Which, let's just say now, are OP. They are not fair. They also do a lot of damage to ships, surprisingly. Well, I guess not surprisingly, but because they're spears. But
Yeah, do they get the halberdier bonus because they use spears?
I don't know.
Because the pipeline gets a bonus
they
against
wreck them as
ships.
fireboats, or fire galleys rather. So
Alright.
I've already,
Step, step, step.
I was able with my step lancers to get through, destroy Matt Salsa's dock, put some pressure on him, which he was not prepared for because of his booming.
Now, if you are not familiar with the unit, the Step Lancer, it is a ranged melee unit. So here you can see them.
the Kamyuk on horse.
Yes, they were literally stabbing a ship from the shore because of that +1 range.
What range do fire galleys have? Is it 1 or 2?
They have 2.
Or 2?
I know
So they
because
slightly outrange.
Sly Fox just destroyed one.
Yes, you know.
Now, Matt,
Yeah,
just
that
Salsa
shit
and
was
Spring
just-
have mostly been focusing on their ecos. You can check back on their villager counts. Spring has 57 villagers. I'm playing as the Persians, and I have 50 right now. So a little overlooked bonus that the Persians have is their TC even works faster in Dark Age. So even though he has been fishbooing for a long time, I am rapidly catching up in villager count just because of how fast these TCs pump out villagers. Back into Matt Salsa's base, we have 8 Step Lancers running around, just completely commandoing that spearman. That was a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 reference for all you OG Call of Duty fans.
We're now watching Age of Empires.
Hey, that was me, so there's got to be more people like me. There's also got to be more people
Hopefully
like
not.
me that
No.
made an email account when they were like 12 with a really lame name like COD4 Wee Dude, and they're just stuck with it for the rest of their life. I know I'm not alone.
I have an email
Always
account that
making
I made
you
when I
one,
was 17 that I still use.
See, So right now,
Alright.
Spring is under a lot of pressure. He's being forced to remake his archer range. He is killing 3 step lancers that decided to just enjoy the scenery and stand there as they died to TC fire.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but they just
I don't
decided
think
it was
Step
okay.
Lancers knew either. Wow, look at. Is it Spring? Yeah, he's yellow. He's making like 5 fishing ships even right now.
Also, Eric and I managed to get into one of Spring's wood lines.
Oh yes,
Quite
it
a
is
few
happening right
kills.
Five in
now.
a hen house.
We should have kept
1,
pressing
2,
that,
3,
but
4,
we
5,
did not.
6, 7. Is that
Wow,
lady
your
gonna go
scouts are like,
down?
nope.
Here again, a lot of good damage on Spring.
And with that, Eric is able to overtake him in villagers.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
However,
what is
they
his villager pop now?
wait a minute. I'll go check.
78 to 87.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
So
10
really,
more.
power of the Persians coming into play here. However, the power of the Persians is not great enough if you don't have any water control, because
Yes.
can't do anything from the land to kill stuff on the water.
Dude, he did 2 monasteries.
Yeah.
Because
Which-
he wants to get those relics.
Right, get those relics. Because he is the Lithuanians. Which.
And what
Walston,
is their
what's the
bonus?
What is their bonus?
Get extra attack on their cavalry for every relic they have, up to 5.
Which is stupid.
But
As
Just
you
throw
can
that
see,
out
they've
there.
got
I don't know. I think I like it because it adds an important factor to the game where you
Yeah.
got to be worried about another aspect of it. Previously, the only relic
I like the
bonus really
idea.
was the Aztecs, and it was a good bonus, but it wasn't something huge.
I think the problem with it is there's extra relics on almost every map now.
That's right.
Yeah, I
I've
think
seen
there's a couple more.
there's
So
always
it's
like
easier
7
to get
to
up
10.
to that +5.
So you think they should keep it at just 5 relics?
Yeah, I think every map should only have 5.
Yeah, because otherwise,
I mean, maybe there's special.
it's much
maps
more
and-
difficult for someone to get all 5 relics if there's only 5 on the map.
Mhm.
All right, on the right of the map, I know that we do not have water control. So one way to get at least some space on the water is to put up some castles. Castles do bonus damage against ships. So if you can get some castles or towers up on the shoreline, you can at least buy yourself some room. So I get my castle up, and Spring brings his boats away right now.
I eventually use my lancers to pick off some ships that Spring leaves unattended.
Bill, what are you doing right now? You got some
I'm just
knights.
booming and protecting my shore by building knights instead of ships.
Genius.
Probably should have moved down to fight with Walston at his crossing. Probably would have been. Well, I guess
Yeah, if
once
we had been
the battle
more
starts.
aggressive on that end, that might have saved us a little bit early on. But we
Do you make-
played a little defensive.
later into the game, I'd make like an attack into the middle, but there's nothing there. I shouldn't really be doing that at all.
On the right,
Nothing, yeah.
we have the step lancers coming in on the boats. These boats are taking huge damage from the castle, and the step lancers, they're so easy, they can so easily surround things since they don't have to get right up next to it. They are a very, very good unit that I'll be surprised not to see nerfed.
Yeah.
So what would
They're
you guys
everything.
do to balance the step lancer?
That's a good question.
I haven't used them enough to really. I don't know
Well,
if
I
it's
guess
like-
right now, I think they are cheaper than knights. So
Yeah, that's
potentially
probably a
at
good
least
thing.
making them. Because when I was going, instead of going double stable
What
knight,
if-
I went double stable step lancer. And they were actually a little bit cheaper.
What
I
if we
think-
did the first unit that costs 3 different resources and give them like a small wood cost? So they
Now
cost
that
wood,
is
food, and
interesting.
gold. You know, it's the extra wood for
Yeah.
a long spear.
That's not a bad idea.
So what do they cost now? I know it's like
Just
70
food and gold.
They
just
cost
like
70
knights.
Yeah.
food and 30 gold.
30 gold. What if it was like 25 wood too?
I could see
I don't
that.
know. It seems a little bit too much. I think
Maybe
they just
like
need to increase
10.
the gold cost.
Right, that was my thoughts. If they upped the gold, I don't know how much would be enough.
Crossbowmen.
But right now, we've seen multiple videos of step lancers beating paladins
Yeah.
just because of that one range.
Because it's not really a glitch of Age of Empires, but one of, I guess you say, feature is the ability for crossbows to put themselves up against a small space, and only one knight can attack at a time. But now, these units can literally attack over each other,
That's right.
and it's a huge advantage. It's something that I think the Kamyuks were supposed to be able to do, but because of them not being as fast, aren't able to really realize it.
Also, the thing is, you can make step lancers out of stables, whereas Kamyuks have to be made at the castle.
That's true.
So it is so much
potentially, if you could
easier to
make
just.
Kamyuks from the barracks, that would make them all. That would give them maybe the Incas maybe a needed boost.
Yeah, I think that would make them as OP as the step lancers. Also,
Yeah.
most important battle of the whole game going on over on the right side, my crossbowmen just destroyed a regular galley.
Ah.
So without
And
that,
Eric, do you want to talk about the Persian crossbows?
oh, that's right. So the Persians got a new unique technology. Previously, they had boiling oil.
Oil.
What? What did that do? Something like more damage
It
to
was
rams?
castles, more damage to rams, I believe.
Okay, bottom line, nobody used that crap. So they got a new tech where the Persians now, their crossbows do not cost any gold. Instead, they cost 50 wood. So
So your new trash unit.
yes, that's right. Crossbows do get thumb ring, or the Persians do get thumb ring. They don't get bracer. So they do fire faster. They fire more accurately than skirmishers do. You're not having to use any food to make them. You can save that food for like your cavalier or your hussars. Overall, it's a really kind of fun thing to do. Something unique. It's fun kind of playing with all these little crossbows, even in the Imperial Age. The upgrade costs like 200 wood, 200 food and 200 gold. So definitely worth it. I mean, that's what, like 5 crossbows worth in gold.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's a much viable trash unit than skirmisher, especially countering the Mangudai. It really helps out.
Right, and since they're only wood, it's really easy to just kind of throw them away.
Mhm.
Like they're almost worthless. Like if they die, who cares? You can just build some more.
Right.
And that's somehow different than like a skirmisher. I don't know why it is, but they're
Well,
both.
because skirmishers also cost food, right? So, I mean, just costing only one resource and an inexpensive resource to that, it's such a big deal.
Right, you think of like the hussar, the scout cav line. They all cost food, but they cost so much food that
Right.
you can't, unless it's late game when you have a surplus of food. They're a little more expensive than just the 50 wood for a crossbow. Now
Well,
over
at
on-
this time, if we're looking around, seeing what's happening, I'm booming. I lost my army, so now I'm going to like boom hardcore. And so at that time, Eric gets pushed back a little bit by being double teamed.
Yeah, you can see a lot of nice hit and run here by those Mangudai. They're not elite yet, but they are still very strong. I, of course, have Paladin, but I cannot engage. I can't go up against those Mangudai. I can't go up to the shoreline. I'm kind of just stuck here on my little... I was about to say peninsula, but peninsula is surrounded by 3 sides on water.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is the thing that's surrounded on 2 sides by water? Because I'm on that.
Coast.
A coast.
know.
My coast. This is the
We
beach
can also
of Normandy.
we can take note of Bill with his elite Lithuanian skirmishers.
Oh, so epic. And now, don't all the skirmishers have different shields or something? Wow, this galley is tanking the mess out of these skirmishers. Just, wow.
Because Bill, don't the skirmishers get an extra armor?
Yeah, the Lithuanians have tower shields, I think, is their Imperial Age unique tech, and it gives skirmishers and spearmen line 1 extra
Ooh.
pierce armor.
Now, in the late game battle, that is huge because Pierce Armor is one of the, I would say it's the more important armor. I would rather have Pierce Armor than normal armor, I think. Do you all agree or disagree?
Yeah, I
It
guess.
depends. Yeah, I was thinking about it. It depends on what you're fighting,
Yeah,
right?
because think about the units that have really high melee armor. You're like, oh man, can't get enough of those. It's like
But then
Teutonic.
Archer, because I was thinking like Teutonic
never-
Knights, right?
yeah,
Like
you
Teutonic
never
Knights have
see
like
that.
huge melee armor, but
But like, think the things that have huge pierce armor, Huskarls, Eagle Warriors, like those are actually pretty meta, pretty used. You know,
yeah,
you don't want to
because
see a bunch of those
they're
coming at you.
really effective on rating, right? Because they're
Mhm.
anti-castle pretty much, or TC arrow.
Mhm.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if I can have something more Pierce Armor, that to me would be more useful because I would anticipate things like TCs, castles, towers, shooting them.
Yeah. Walston on the far left is in a heated engagement with his Krepost, a new
Oh.
addition to the game.
Oh, right as you said a heated engagement, I got over here
Yeah.
just in time for it to fall apart and die.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not in a good position.
You went Conics, which are really strong. They can beat a group of Paladins, which is crazy. But the Kipcheks, I think, and the Genoese crossbow were a hard combo for those Conics.
Yes.
That's right. Also, Spring has done a really good job here putting a lot of galleons pretty much at every single crossing. Preventing us from really taking any kind of map control.
Right. I don't even know if he made any land military units at this point. I just think he went 100% into Navy,
Right.
which he used at all the choke points.
I think you're right. I think he's all about Navy. He's making some halberdiers, but really not that many. Alright, on the right side we have Genoese crossbowmen. They're the unique unit of the Italians. They are a crossbowman that gets an attack bonus against cavalry. So they are very effective at killing both infantry and cavalry. Makes them kind of unique, very useful when you're going up against really heavy cav civs like the Huns, the Franks, the Bulgarians. And he's backed up by Kipcheks.
So my skirmisher should be a good choice here.
Yeah, the skirms really
They're
were
fighting ships right now.
is really what gave you some time against the crossbowmen and Kipcheks on Walson's side. I had just started finally getting forward production buildings on Eric's Island. It was starting to, because I was imp to make those heavy or elite step lancers rather.
Right, I think if you had waited until you had about 40 step lancers, they could have wiped everything up because step lancers get better as you increase their numbers. They're kind of just like
Yeah,
any other ranged
Then
unit.
everything.
Well,
I probably should have waited a little bit later.
that's
It would've
more
made a
so
difference.
true with the ranged units, I feel. Because if you have like archers in the feudal age, you're doing an archer rush, and somebody's able to constantly pick off 1 or 2 archers, and you lose that critical mass, then your army can just be very easily defeated. But if you can maintain a critical mass of ranged units, then you're going to be much, much harder to, be taken out.
Also, if we want to point out that they're being very aggressive in the middle, Spring is using his navy to secure those islands because that's where there's a pile of gold, there's extra relics that he will procure later.
It looks to me that Spring is the only one that builds an actual navy. I think all of them are fish booming,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good idea. But I think Spring is the only one that builds actual galleons.
And back in my base, my crossbowmen are waddling into battle only to die moments later, but at least taking down some kind of unit with them. And on the other side of the map, the Kipchiks and the Genoese crossbowmen and some rams and some galleons are pushing into Walsinator's land.
Those skirms are holding their own,
Yes.
though.
A little bit.
And also some cannons there, too, which I think are being used to pick off those rams. No, they're actually being
No.
used to pick off units.
Oh, and it died.
Bill, would you care to explain your choice there?
They were sent in to die.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, what was your...
I think I think my plan was to snipe the Treb with them, but I think
Yeah, those are
Or-
expensive, man.
send in a bunch of Cavalier to snipe my bombard cannons.
You do sort of win that engagement, except for those. He has like a few Cavalier that survive. The cleanup stuff.
Still trebbing all of Volsa's stuff though, and that's
Oh. Now, Bill, I didn't know that you made the lettuce.
yes, I did.
You grew your own lettuce. Wow.
I thought, hey, I have a bunch of gold that I'm not using. I should build a gold unit, so
So did they?
mean, build
They
some-
ignore armor, correct?
yes, they do.
Did you make enough that you felt they were beneficial or helpful to you?
Yeah. Well, I made a good number, but I was like here. I sent them in like in little groups.
Okay.
Probably should have massed them up more because it's harder to mass them up when they only can be built from castles.
That's right.
As you see, I'm coming forward to build more castles.
Bam.
Back over on the right side is when Matt Salsa started putting some forward buildings down, but we made a slight push, a precursor to our eventual push.
It's all about this coast.
Yet again, those crossbows were invaluable and really trimming down those Mangudai numbers.
Right, and the difference between the crossbowmen and the skirmishers is just the rate of fire. With thumb ring, I would much rather have a crossbow like this than a lead skirmisher. Especially
I
since
mean, every Mangudai you kill is less gold for Mr. Matz also.
Right, at one point I can just march my crossbows in there and just pick off the Mangudai one by one because I know if I can
Hey,
kill
there's
one of his
skirmishers over
Mangudai,
here
that's
now.
much more important than 5 of my crossbows. So even if it's a bad fight I'm taking, it's not the end of the world. Oh, and some of Bill's skirmishers show up over here.
Yes.
Are they gonna get this boat? Are they gonna get it? Got it.
And this is where that extra
Yeah,
pierce
yeah.
armor like really helps, because even though the ships are firing at them, they're slowly taking damage, and he's able to pick off those villagers.
+3.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it would
really
help,
good
but he
skills.
doesn't have the final blacksmith upgrade.
Do I know?
Because you should be 4 +
Aw,
5.
must have It's true. I forgot about it for a while, probably.
Still though.
Well, on the other side,
Still
Bill, you are
alive.
defending against yellow and purple, the Kipchaks. Clearly the counter is skirmishers. They do have 6 pierce armor, though. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They do.
0
Wow.
+6, man.
That must be Parthian tactics
Yeah,
that gets them
Yeah.
that pierce armor.
because they are.
How much does the
mounted.
Parthian tactics give by itself? I don't remember. I'll look.
It's like +2, I think.
Yes,
It
plus
is
two.
Mounted.
+2, yes.
Should be. I mean, obviously. 'cause
And
they-
+2 attack versus pikemen.
Look at those lighters actually cleaned up that stuff.
Now, do the Lithuanians, they get the last attack upgrade, so I think you're missing that too, the blacksmith.
So part of the problem is Bill's skirms were definitely holding in that part of the island, but purple was pushing on the far left the whole time.
Yeah, I was trying to push down here to this
Yeah.
shallows, but
Purple does a really great
let us
job
in too deep.
of expansion building.
Yes.
Building all of those forward castles and archery ranges, stables as well. Hey, you got some siege workshops too, man. Bill does push back a little bit,
Yeah,
and
but by
as
the
they
time I-
do, so do we on the right side.
Yes. Oh, this is the moment we're
This is
taking
a
back the
moment of
coast
Glory.
So,
with all these step lancers being shot by galleons.
mhm.
If we haven't said it already, we should have taken water control.
Yes.
I think that was clear to everyone watching this, but
Yeah. Just in case anyone who's just tuning in now started to scroll to this part of the video.
yes, in case you clicked on this video on YouTube and went to 35 minutes in.
We needed to control the water. We know.
Yeah, because like I said, it's just Spring building ships, building galleys. Galleons.
Oh, Spring has started to make some paladins. You can see right now they have 14 plus 9 attack, so a total of 23 attack, a bonus 5 attack from having 5 relics.
Yeah. And if you haven't figured that out too, that is going to be our death knell. Ugh. That's just so. That's
I realized
that's
now
difficult.
that being the Lithuanians, I should have done the same, gone for our relics.
I'm wondering
Maybe
if
get
the
Paladin.
Lithuanians should get Paladin.
Is it the Berbers who get Farimba?
No, I think it's the
They-
Malians.
Oh, the Malians. That's right, the Malians. The Berbers, but they don't get Paladin, and they get
Yeah,
the
I'm
extra-
wondering if the
and the extra
Lithuanians
attack.
should not have Paladin.
Yeah.
Now the Malians get Farimba, but they don't get Blast Furnace. So they only have
+3 though, still. So it's like the Lithuanians having over half the relics.
right, so that'd be like their Cavalier having the Malian Cavalier have 19 attack. Lithuanian Paladins have 23 attack.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I just feel like that's so
So-
like how do you counter
Well,
that?
my-
Like
yeah,
what
my
can
point
you
is-
make?
My point is there that like the other civ that has really high attack cavalry don't have Paladin.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
I
I'm
think
wondering-
one of the most critical things about Lithuanians have 23 attack Paladins is that Paladins will do 20 damage to a fully upgraded Halberdier, which means they're going to kill that Halberdier in 3 hits instead of 4.
Yes.
What's the difference with camels too? Because I don't think it was this game, but we played another game where I tried to counter those Lithuanian knights with camels, and it did not go well.
Well, with our push, we also alleviate pressure on Bill and Walson's side.
Yes, and right now
Trying to push back.
we really just don't have anything that can take care of
Wow,
these
there
boats
was a cavalier
to push
hiding behind
across
that
the other side.
killing it.
Yes,
we
and
have the
unfortunately,
land.
some of those paladins came to our side and did quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, against those skirms, that was what started putting the nails in the coffin.
Now back at the most important coast of the whole game, we are about to go across. I think sometime shortly we go
Yeah,
across, and
pretty
actually
soon.
There's enough step lancers there.
you can never have enough step lancers.
Part of the problem is, though, I had a good number of step lancers, but I had to stop making them because, unlike the other team, which if you look at them, they are furiously trading right now.
You can see this trade line. Look
Yeah,
at that.
we did not do any trade, and so I ran out of gold. I should have started trade earlier, as I should have done water. So, 2 critical mistakes that probably cost us the game, unfortunately.
That's right. But overall, we are a bunch of
I think those are my 2
1600s.
cap rams with one of your siege rams.
Yes, they're glitching badly into all the other units in front of them. We make a bold charge for the hill. Our rams can't get to the gate because of the step lancers. And there's Mangadai ready to absolutely shred these rams with their attack bonus.
Yeah, in hindsight, we probably should have made more mangonels than rams against the Mangadai, but
And at this point, I was expecting to get absolutely masterpiece at any moment and have a heavy demo ship roll up and destroy 60 crossbows all at the same time.
surprisingly, though, the step lancers make short work of everything there. And
Yes.
then we make a keen strategic move and fake them out and go to the left instead of to
Oh,
the right.
nobody saw that
Goes to the
coming.
left.
Hmm. It was mostly because we couldn't get the Rams to move to the right, so
Yep.
we just sent them down.
Path of least resistance.
But it was strategic. Very,
Yes.
very planned and strategic.
Oh wow, those paladins just pop out.
So while we're having success on that side, unfortunately, Bill and Walson are getting pushed back
Yes.
by those paladins.
Paladin.
Even
With
the
their
power.
14 plus
Paladin.
9.
Actually,
Trading from right there.
now could an elite conic beat a Lithuanian paladin? That's the question.
Nope.
It would be close,
Let's ask
but I
Spirit of the
think
Law.
the Lithuanian would win that with full relics.
Hmm.
We'll have to test it for science.
Well, now on the other side, we did get across the river for the first time in the game, practically.
If you don't count our rating, which... So,
But then-
after Assuage.
We just get matched up against some 23 attack paladins,
First.
and even those
So
step
if you look
lancers.
on their army, they masked
trade
everything on the right
card.
side. So then they had to run everything real quick over, but those stables that Spring built really proved valuable, being able to quickly get a significant number of paladins there.
Right, and that's the
stop
whole
them.
concept of defender's advantage. When you're defending, you have your production buildings right there. So,
Oh look, that trade card opened the gate.
Yeah, at this point, I'm pop capped, but that quickly becomes not the case. And then I'm
Right.
sitting on like 500
The only
gold, and
one-
nothing more is coming in.
we start losing our numbers. We have onagers rolling in from the Mongol player.
Which was a wise move. Something we probably should have sprinkled in a little bit more of was Siege.
If we,
Spring brings in a few more ships, and then Purple comes over to this side to help with the Genoese crossbow. He also brings a trade card, which is weird, but
effective.
effective.
The best
That
meat
golden
shield.
gold.
Right, so the Genoese crossbowmen with their attack bonus against cavalry just absolutely destroy these step lancers. They destroy the hussars. They kill the crossbows.
Spring wastes no time in walling back up.
It's already patched. He's got his 23 attack paladins moving in.
Yeah. And the trade card is still alive. And he makes it in through. Wow.
All right, where's this trade? Oh, there's the trade card. He's like being.
He's just chilling, man. He makes it.
All right, we
That
gotta
guy's a brave man.
wait till the end of the game and see if this trade card makes it all the way.
I think I can
I wonder
make
if that
him
trade
as a
card-
control group. Let me see if I can.
I wonder if he's controlled group, like Purple has controlled grouped him into his group of Genoese crossbowmen.
He may have done that. Now, over on the other side of the map, the what's it? Is this? The Cumans. So the Cumans, they get step lancers and paladins and kipchiks.
Kipjacks.
Yeah, see, that should not be the case.
And all the Kripos in the world can't stop it.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe that's another topic for another video, but Krepos
All
are
the
super
Kripos in the
OP.
world can't stop it, and the
All
Lithuanian
the new
spearmen
civs.
skirmishers can't stop it.
What is that from?
That's Kit Harington, Game of Thrones.
Oh, that makes sense because I don't
Oh,
watch Game of
the team
Thrones.
can't stop it. The Night Watcher can't stop it. Even together, it may not be enough.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that.
And now my base is just being constantly raided by hussars and paladins and these Genoese
Yeah.
crossbowmen.
It's at this time we amongst ourselves start discussing how we got to this point, whether or not we should resign.
And we knew it was all about the water. Oh, if you go to my super important coast, vital part of the game, you're gonna see a siege onager just standing by himself, but he's about to make a pretty big oof. Or he will in a couple minutes.
Is he hiding behind the?
Oh, he's rolling up. He is rolling up. I'm pretty sure he gets like 20 of them at once. That was a pretty big shot. The problem is it's so fast. Oh, It died. That Mongol siege movement bonus.
Hmm.
So they are slowly pushing on all sides.
Yeah.
We did really well to hang on to this point, I would like to say.
Yeah, overall it was a good game.
I'm surprised, like, you would think that a game between people who are probably way better than us would last this long at all.
Well, you got to remember too, like this is technically a closed map, so I think that played into our advantage slightly, because we knew where the enemy was coming from. Because they didn't really take advantage of transport ships, where they were just dropping people behind our lines, so we were able to funnel everything in one direction, which minimized how much micro we actually had to do.
Here's that siege onager again. This is where the big hit comes in. This is it. Ouch. Oh, and again. Oh, that was nice.
Oof. Somehow, during this whole time, I have some Step Lancers and Walson's base that they've just been sitting there.
Oh, they're stabbing stuff now. They are getting torn up by those 23 tech paladins.
Yep.
Well, one of our next videos, we'll have to talk about the Crep host.
Indeed. And the fact that it still takes up as much space as a castle.
And it only has 2 less attack and 1 less range. And builds in like half the time. And costs a little more than half the resources.
But the nice thing about it is you still have to build a castle in order to research the upgrade for their special unit.
But if you have that many conics, do you need the elite upgrade to win?
If you're fighting another Bulgarian, then yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Gives you a little bit more HP,
Yeah.
which is where
makes
the
it-
conic really shines, having all
Right,
that
that's where it's
HP.
able to counter Paladin.
They're thick boys.
That's going to be the title of the video. The Bulgarian video will be titled that. And here's the slow demise of our land. As our trash units are trying to fight against siege onagers and Genovese crossbowmen and step lancers.
Yeah. It was at this point we kind of realized it was over. I think we resigned like pretty soon.
Yep.
Now what we should have done was
Oh,
get all our
yeah.
villagers to the corner of the map and started making towers.
Live in infamy on the internet.
And there we call the GG. Overall, that was one of the most fun games I think we played in a very long time. It was very fun to come up against Spring and Matches Salsa. And that would never have happened if we were playing on Voobly, because they would have known our ratings before the game.
Yes, they never would have played us. But it was a lot of fun. That's one of the new opportunities, at least now, before the ratings kind of even out, that were afforded with the new DE version, which I think is kind of cool.
That's right. Alright, Bill, hit him with some kind of sick intro that will also make them want to come back and watch another video.
Wally Clan versus pros. Click here now to watch what happens.
Okay, well, if that's going to be another video, we're going to have to
Alright.
find some more pros to play against.
Gotta lose to more pros.
Maybe we'll just direct message the Viper, ask him to play all of us at the same time.
Well, I mean, we had a friend that beat the Viper, so, and that's
Oh, that is
an
true.
actual truth.
We need a
Is
link
it
to that
though?
video.
Viper
By
has it.
definition, he beat him. We need to figure out how to do that. Link in the
Absolutely.
description.
So,
Also, if y'all want to watch the from Spring's perspective, he also streamed this. We're at the last end of the video. In one of his streams. We'll link that in the description as well.
Will we?
Yeah.
can we?
Yes.
Are we allowed to?
Should we
Yeah,
get his
man.
permission first?
I don't think so because it's sending people to his stream. So
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
we
we're
are
not,
giving
like-
him more
we're giving him
publicity.
viewership from all 41 of our
And
viewers.
by self-serving.
Uh,
Well, I mean, you remove us, and there's about 12 of them.
hey, you don't know that.
I don't know. We could have just been clicking repeat on that video. All right. Anyways, well, we should probably sign off.
Are you gonna look at the statistics or just sign off?
I will look at those statistics. I want to know the chi-squared value of my food income. Military spring killed a ton of stuff. I lost the most. Wait, no. Do you guys see that? Oh, I see. For some reason, I thought I would have the star for losing the
know-
most when it's you get the star for losing the least.
It's
It
which
used- yeah, they switched it. It used to be
yeah,
that way.
which is kind of cool.
Yep, I lost 1,019 units. Probably 1,018 of them were crossbows.
Yeah.
Economy, you can see how the trade really helped them out, and not us
Greatly.
at all. Technology, again, I like to point out the Persians doing a 22 pop scout rush. I got to feudal at 946, and then was able to fast castle at 1834, which seems crazy. Hey, I was also the first to imp, and I was well over 100 pop at that point, so I think the Persians, their buff in the DE has been very much overlooked.
And also keep in mind, Bill as Isosphere, he castled at 18 minutes, and that was after he did.
Terrible.
Well, that was after he did his drush.
Insta drush, yeah.
So that's not bad.
Probably
Considering
could
everything-
iron it out and be like 2 minutes faster,
Right, right.
maybe.
I think that was the first time you tried it too, right? So
Yes.
first try, that was not bad at all.
Yeah, fast castle drush could be slightly faster.
And that's it. We'll be back in the next video where we go up against some other professionals once we find them. Or we'll just get TJ on and say that TJ's a professional. Because
Yeah,
he's who we really needed this game to make a Navy.
Yep, he's our Navy professional. All right, we'll end the video somewhere around here.
I'm just going to
That's
keep
all
on
I
rambling
have.
for a while.
Go away.
I think we should end the video like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, well, too bad. All this is going in there. I'm just going to stop it, and I won't tell you when I'm going to stop it. Okay, I stopped it.
Okay.
Just kidding, you didn't.
You're right, I didn't.